Hello, my name is Lesley Atherton, and this is my piece of writing called I Am an Aristotelian Original. I don't want to be this way, I just want to accept. Isn't that the usual state of affairs? But there's something inside me that makes me analyse and consider and dream and dream and dream. I am an Aristotelian original. Individual and unique and unrestricted by form or label. You choose the words describing me, a fish who flies, an individual apple with nothing in common with other apples other than an accident of creation. But I am not an apple or a fish. I have no appleness or fishness, neither am I human. I may walk upright, appear as a biped with reason and ability to consider my future, but I am not as other bipeds, other reasoners. I exhibit the quality of heaviness, yet I may fall upwards as well as down. I don't, but I may. I have that potential, as my functions are complex and indefinable. Trace me back to the beginning of time, and I will coexist with a prime mover, a first cause, a divine creator. It's called a teleological explanation, this circular and rather empty account of why things behave as they do. It's as if cause is a mysterious internal puller or ultimate purpose, rather than being an external and separate pusher. Modern philosophers and scientists are less confident about predicting the final purpose of everything. Thanks to Darwinian evolutionary beliefs, they even doubt whether such a thing as final purpose exists. But I think too much. I am too much. At times, even the clatter of next door's front door is enough to drive me to tear-filled exultations of the wonder of life. At others, one note plucked from my guitar is pain unlike any felt before. It hurts when you feel this deeply, see too far, hear too much. It hurts when your dreams become so vivid that they are unforgettable. My last dream was just like that. An old lady, my Auntie Barbara, was struggling under the weight of a massive rucksack and numerous bags. She should never have been carrying such a burden, and I took the rucksack from her and passed on a couple of her carrier bags to a young girl standing beside me. The girl nearly collapsed under their weight. Yes, my Barbara was quite a fighter, even in her dream form. This dream saw us lost in a strange city, yet when we entered a charity shop, 3 of my neighbours were chatting easily by the blouse rack. Yet we were strangers there, strangers with little idea of where we were going, and less idea of the reason why. We decided we needed to get away, so walked to the park. How we knew there was a park, I can't say, but we walked there with purpose. A dog shivered by the fence, leaning to prop itself up, whimpering and crying desperately as if in pain. But we didn't worry, as a man was running towards it. Barbara and I continued walking, but soon stopped and caught our breaths. On the floor in front of us was a dog's paw, of the same caramel blonde colour fur as the whimpering dog. We ran over to the dog in shock. Its paw had been sliced off, and the poor creature was bleeding profusely. I looked up again at the dog's owner. He was wearing full red face makeup and looked as if he was attempting to emulate a character from Star Wars. And he ran furiously at us. I had no doubt that this red-faced monstrosity was responsible for the dog's plight, and I should have been terrified for the welfare of the 2 of us, but it wasn't terror or self-protection that kicked in. It was total and absolute fury that somebody could treat a dog in this way. I stood my ground against the red-faced man, screaming and shouting, "You total bastard! You total bastard! How could you do this?" Auntie Barbara picked up the paw and tried to go to the dog to give it assistance, but the man got in her way. Looking at those staring and obsessive yet blank eyes, I suspected this wasn't the first time he'd lashed out and attacked. Still, my instinct for self-protection was totally overridden by anger. I flew at him. And then I woke up. I like to think I'd have pinned him to the ground and beat the shit out of him while Auntie Barbara called the vet and the police, and that we might, just might, have managed to save the dog's life and even perhaps the dog's foot. But what's more likely was that he, in his mania, would have flown at me, attacked me and brought me to the ground while that poor, mutilated dog had shivered and died. Writing this, I am still shaking. How could I dream of such nastiness when I would never do such a thing in waking life? I shook even more when I realised that the man in my dream had the face of a controlling ex, who once forced me to take a photo of him in his most manic and unpleasant state. I began making connections and discovering explanations. Of course, Auntie Barbara was real, and I regularly had dreams of strange cities. But what was it with the red makeup? What was it with the extreme animal abuse? In the end, I was almost glad I didn't know. So there you have it. We are all Aristotelian originals, and this dream man's originality was expressed in this particular and original way. Yet he is still an authentic, original, perfect snowflake. Even so, I hope karma does to him what it must, and melts him into the ground.